Level 100, targeted tragedy. Geo wishes for a moment of your time. If you have a moment, Geo wants to take stock of the current crisis. Oblivion may be lacking the finer details in certain areas, like you perspective conversation. You know, sorry to drag you into our meeting, but we need to get a better handle on the threats Alexandria is facing right now. Not at all. Much has happened since the state funeral, and a clearer idea of where things stand would be beneficial for us as well. First things first, then, let's discuss the state of the machine malfunctions. Every single sector reported instances of sentries attacking citizens without provocation and vehicles suddenly becoming unresponsive to controls. And while these malfunctions were resolved fairly quickly, they nevertheless resulted in considerable number of injuries and deaths. But you haven't heard anything about new incidents since then, right? Right, no additional reports have been logged as far as I know. That's the good news. Bad news is I tried to take control of the soldiers when they started hurting people, but they wouldn't listen to me, even though I have the king's authority. Once things calmed down, I was finally able to make them give up their weapons, but if it happens again, I don't know if they'll ignore me like before. King of Resolve's authority is about the highest there is. Who is this man that can override it with such impunity? Calyx. He lived in the age of the Storm Surge, as I did. Lest you forget, he was known for his advancements in electrope technology, and it was he who established preservation for the purpose of furthering his research. Wasting disease which afflicted him, however, was said to leave him scant years left to live. He must have chosen to undergo conversion into an endless that he might continue his efforts into the present day. Preservation's early goals seem noble enough, exploring treatments for Levin sickness, designing Everkeep's core system, that sort of thing. Why harm the people he was ostensibly trying to help? I do not pretend to fully understand Calyx's motivations, only that he appeared incensed by what he saw as mankind's failings. He asserted that the strategy of adapting our species through generational succession was outdated, that evolution now requires us to forsake bodies of flesh in favor of eternal preservation. I've already seen how he's employed the simulant to convince Alexandrians that endless conversion is their only hope for survival. Eternal life is assured for 5,000 who register their neo-regulators. This is merely one part of Calyx's greater plan. He wants to key to interdimensional fusion. With that relic in his possession, he will draw ether from the reflections and expand his efforts to create endless 1,000-fold. If we mean to foil Calyx's schemes, then our only option is to determine where he's hiding and put him down. Which unfortunately is easier said than done. I've been scouring the terminal we found in the depths of Everkeep, but I'm failed to uncover even the slightest trace of his activities. Give me a little more time, though, and I'm sure I can sniff him out. I'll help you. While Gululja and Shale are working on that, I think I'm going to take a look around town. I want to make sure no new problems have cropped up, as well as search for any information that might lead us to Calyx. You're welcome to come along. Another malfunction could happen at any time, and I'd be glad to have some brawlers at my back. Yeah. Go. Count me in. Raha and the others are helping Oblivion patrol the other levels of the keep. So shall we stick to the streets of Solution 9? Sounds like a plan. Thanks, you two. I appreciate the company. I have to speak with the city's administrators about bringing in the Lands Guard. I want our soldiers around to protect those who are moving to Tuliolol. Alphanald and Alize will be joining me for the meeting, so the three of us can cover that sector as soon as we're done. If I may. I'd like to join Zilly's group if you all have me. More mouths to ask questions, the merrier, as long as you're aware of the dangers. Thank you. I'll do my best not to be a burden. I'm more worried about you, Geo. Don't do anything stupid. That's a flag. You'll change your tune once we get back to the goods on Calyx. Then the drinks are on you. Come on, let's continue this outside. Good luck with your patrol and take your time. We can do without Geode until you're done with the old sot. Sorry, just when I think I've internalized better manners, talking with Geode brings back all the old bad habits. Okay. Sorry, I was off in my own little world. Shall we get started? People seem uneasy. Are you alright, Geo? Let's see what there is to see. Are you alright? I'm well enough, given the circumstances. The Queen's fondest wish that her subjects remained shielded from the horrors of death, and so they were for the longest time. In the moment mortality once again became an unavoidable fact of life, they're greeted with an outbreak of bloody violence. Many are bound to give the endless alternative serious consideration. Indeed, and I do not blame them for that. It is only natural that such thoughts should come to mind. What I cannot forgive is the way Calyx wields fear and misery to manipulate people into making that choice. No one, not Calyx nor anyone else, should dictate how we cope with the specter of death. One who lived as an Alexandrian, I wish to put the choices for this country's future back in the hands of its citizens. Do you think we can handle that responsibility after everything you've seen of us? It is what I've seen that has convinced me you can. I woke 4 centuries later to find our people living and laughing beneath Alexandria's banner. Though surprised and bewildered, I was overjoyed to see it so. You all deserve to be happy. Well then. We'd best not let you down. I suggest we move as a group. We don't know if or when a battle might find us. I believe someone came prepared for just such an eventuality. Now she's gonna fight too. Is that grimoire you retrieved from the old castle? Yes, my parents gifted it to me when I was a child. They were adamant that I should learn to protect the things important to me. I was fortunate enough to have a tutor in the arcane arts, so I lay claim to some small measure of skill. If that's the case, it might be better if we split into 2 groups after all. It would certainly be more efficient for information gathering. I guess that makes sense. 2 of you can take the west side of the recreation zone then. Billy and I will take the east. Very well, we shall end our patrol in the plaza just past True View and await you there. Let's do the rounds, then we'll see what's what and chat with to the people we meet along the way. Pay special attention to anyone who looks overwhelmed or overly excited. Hopefully that will earn us a tidbit or 2 we didn't know before. Escorting entails. Certain duties require that 1 or more NPCs accompany you in order to proceed with quest objectives. You must keep them at your side and make your way to designated location. So long as you remain in the same area, NPCs accompanying you will remain at your side even when using teleport or the Ethernet. It's possible to ride mounts or swim while escorting NPCs. Please note, however, they will not appear at your side until you dismount or leave the water. You may also speak with NPCs while escorting them. Furthermore, you may encounter conversation points along way which offer additional topics of discussion. These points will also be indicated on your map. Speaking with NPCs, you will be given the option to part ways. You will also part ways automatically when changing areas. If you part ways with an NPC, you may return to the starting point and speak with them to try again. So it's basically the same thing before. They just, I guess, updated the little tutorial that pops up. our map if there's any other, like, talking zones. Seems to be this one for now. Alright. With sentries and air-wheelers safe to be around now, I just know it's going to happen again, and maybe next time I'll be the one who dies in a horrible accident. Need a neo-regulator. Coming endless is the only way. Even Queen Sphene said so. Discuss True View. Ah, the memories. I used to drink around here all the time. I made sure not to overdo it when I had work the next day, but once we were past the busy season or when the ladies weren't amenable to my company, well, you'd have to scrape me off the street outside the morning or afternoon. Worst I ever got was on what should have been the worst day of my life. If only I could remember it. I was still wearing a regulator back then. It was also the day I first met Shale, although I guarantee she's forgotten it completely. You say when you just talk. Guessing you would have preferred to go with Sphene and Cryo, but I'm afraid you stuck with me. I grow on people, though, I promise. What has me in such a fine mood, you ask? Well, I've just registered my new regulator. I was leery of becoming nothing but memories at first, but now that I've gone through with the registration, I've never felt more at ease. Also, once it was done, the regulator displayed the current numbers. Of the 5,000 slots available, over 3,800 have already been filled. If you're still hesitant, you've not much time to make your mind up. Mark my words, friend, when there's only a few slots left, it's going to get very ugly. Usually does. Hello, citizen. You want to hear my story? Well, I appreciate you offering a sympathetic ear. There's not much to tell. You must know a good friend of mine died when those machines went crazy. His air-wheeler dropped right out of the sky and he didn't survive the crash. Damn fool wasn't wearing a regulator. I know that's not so strange these days, but he'd never bothered with one. He was at peace with the idea of dying someday, and I thought I understood what that meant until it happened. Silly a word? I feel like there was a new factor in these stories we've heard, one we hadn't considered during our discussion with everyone in the back room. People are still deathly afraid. The fights are likely to break out over neo-regulators. The victim of the violence wasn't wearing a regulator. Yes, that's it. The vast majority of residents have always worn regulators, so it's not a detail we'd normally think about. With the supply of souls cut off, though, more and more people have been going without them. We need to look into the casualties from the recent attacks and check whether or not they were equipped with regulators. Ask around on the street over to the east. It was pretty chaotic at the time, but maybe we'll find eyewitnesses who can help us confirm if this was a pattern or not. Discuss the hover. It was once my job to deliver goods by hover cargo. That's why I know a fair number of names and faces throughout the city. Little ones who'd jump for joy when I brought them packages, the old lady who'd always greet me with a smile. I'd hate for anything bad to happen to them. Hello, how are you today? Please let me know if I may be of service. Citywide casualty data unavailable. Government officials are currently processing reports from all affected zones. Can you narrow it down to the recreation zone? Then you must have some estimates on hand. Recalibrating parameters. Injured 87 individuals. Casualties 19 individuals. Casualties equipped with regulators 0. It was just non-regulated people? I guess you come back to life if you're wearing a regulator, right? You wish to know if the people who died in the machine rampage were wearing regulators. Sorry, but I was assigned to clearing away debris. I didn't see any of the deceased. No bodies were present by the time I arrived, so I assumed the ushers had already done their work. I do remember there being patches of white dust scattered about that were quite a chore to clean up, but nothing else worthy of mention. Really, I think it's time we rejoin Cryle and Sphene. I was half joking with my boast to Shale, but we may have stumbled upon something major here. We should share our findings and keep pursuing this avenue of inquiry. Didn't Cryle say to meet them in the plaza just outside the True View? Let's get going. Everyone's doing MSQ. So essentially, you're saying that the people who were killed by malfunctioning machines weren't wearing regulators. Well, the numbers are still tentative and only apply to that one zone. We don't know how they'll stack up against the overall data, but this is definitely more than a coincidence. I think it's safe to say that anyone who had removed their regulator was a priority target. Now that you mention it, the person I was treating for injuries wasn't wearing one either. But why? Why are they being targeted over everyone else? Based solely on a lack of a neo-regulator, we cannot judge if a person has no desire to become endless or if they simply failed to acquire one of the limited devices. Those who wear no regulator at all have clearly rejected the old system of using souls to revive themselves. Put another way, they have chosen to live their lives in the knowledge that death is an inevitability. Chances that such resolute people would wish to become endless are far lower, I would imagine. So Calyx has chosen those least likely to accept his vision as victims to stoke fear and panic. There was no need to kill anyone. The way things were, the people were already fearful enough. He could have found 5,000 willing citizens without all this madness. You make a good point. Perhaps this sowing of terror is in service to another scheme, or he had some other need for the lives he's taken. What of the dust found at the various sites? Could something have been done to the victims? Right, the sanitation worker's story. She saw no bodies but mentioned piles of white dust. Dust, but no bodies. Now, where have I heard that before? You recall when we went to save Aaronville from the sentries in the outskirts, that Usher Malachite told us much the same thing. I arrived, I found no body, only a pile of dust, which the wind quickly scattered. Confused, I questioned the residents, but none knew what had become of it. Disintegration. Both stories speak of missing remains as suspicious enough, but the shared mention of this dust is too much to ignore. In that case, we should confirm if this substance was present at other sites and attempt to ascertain its nature. Following this thread may lead us not only to an explanation for the missing bodies, but also the intent behind Calyx's murderous actions. Getting a call. Billy, we need your help. I've lost control over the soldiers in the residential area. They might be trying to hurt people again. Oblivion members are on their way now, but are you close enough to join them? Combat already? Damn it, our new investigation will have to wait. Let's go. It's a trap. Robot on robot violence. Uh-oh. A full exorcist on us.
Stay back! Stay away from me!
Leave him alone!
Nice.
Are you all right?
What happened here?
A sentry walked into my apartment, even though I'd locked the door and everything. I managed to run, but the man who tried to save me...
No weapons, which is to be expected, considering all the sentries were meant to be disarmed. Yet it was ordered to attack all the same, even if that meant using its bare hands.
I'll leave matters here to you. I'm going to do a sweep of the surrounding area.
Do you know anyone else in this sector who no longer wears a regulator?
Oh, I don't think I've seen Isadora and her boy with theirs recently.
Uh-oh.
Go to them, quickly! Wayakwe!
I'll be fine. But Isadora's in bad shape. Mother! Mother, please!
Isadora! Oh, thank goodness. She wasn't struck anywhere vital.
I'm sorry. If only I'd gotten here sooner.
Everything will be all right. I promise to make your mother better.
Thank you, miss. Will she sleep like that forever?
Damn.
No, not forever. She'll wake soon, I'm sure of it.
That's good to hear. Thank you for saving her.
Promise of tomorrow. Forgive me, I was reckless. You shouldn't have had to waste time tending my wounds as well. You see our other comrade back there? He stayed behind in the lobby, but I heard the sounds of fighting. I am sorry. He must have fallen protecting the residents. Level 100, targeted tragedy, complete. Okay, pick one. What's this? Only 500? No. 680. 680. Level 100, the endless choice. Wayakwe. It's fearful for her comrade. comrade, you think he may have been struck down? If he is wounded or worse, I should go to him. Wait, please, it isn't safe, and you still need rest. Would you stay with Milos and watch over Isadora for me? We will tend to your friend. Thank you. Please be careful yourself. Quest accepted. Wait, where are we? Oh, yeah, no, it's outside. Okay. I got turned around on the map. All right. That man, this is awful. Isadora is going to be all right then. I'm so glad. I've just finished my administrations here. Our Oblivion comrade was beyond saving, I'm afraid. That brave soul, he gave his life to save another. He died protecting me. I don't understand why any of this is happening. That sentry was behaving normally like any other. Then, all of a sudden, it tried to kill me. Weapons or no, Calyx commanded them to commit murder. Is it over? We came as soon as Wayakwe sent word. Wayakwe, why do I keep mispronouncing it? We heard them say it. I'm sorry, by the time we arrived, it was already too late. Then Geode could be in trouble too. Once we have this radius locked down, we need to find him. But why? Has something happened? Possibly, we're not sure what, but he stopped responding to our communications. We need to prioritize securing the residential sector, though, at least until we regain control over the sentries. Then we should search for Geode. I agree, since most Oblivion members have sworn off regulators, if our theory holds true, then they could be prime targets for the next attack. Please do what you can to shepherd the residents to safety, but avoid the sentries at all costs. Our thanks. Here, take these communicators. We've made modifications to them to prevent Calyx from intercepting the signal and have been using them to coordinate movements with allies in the vicinity. Wayakwe has one too, so I'll ask her to keep hailing Geode. Good luck and stay safe. Geode said he would sweep the surrounding area, so he shouldn't have ventured too far. Let's get going. See no sign of Geode. Perhaps you should search further to the east. Run! See no sign of Geode. Wayakwe's voice crackles forth from the communicator. Geode! Geode, answer me! There's no response. Perhaps you should continue your search further to the east. See no sign of Geode. The neighboring residential radius would be the next logical place to look. Oh, there he is.
This is the only place left. Let them be safe.
Geode, are you there? Answer me, please!
I'm here. Sorry for the long silence. I've been busy.
Oh, you're alive! Thank the gods! Where are you now?
The radius next door. The lobby is secure. I'll scout the second floor. Then I'll join it.
Uh-oh. Like stealing his soul. Like the ether.
That dust.
Figured that's what it was.
Dust? What are you talking about? What's happening?
They're not just collecting souls. They're draining the bodies of corporeal ether.
Yep.
The dust that we saw was all that was left of the victims. They must have modified the soul cells.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
Damn you! You can't be here! You need to run now!
That's a diversion. It's a trap.
A trap?
Uh-oh.
Take care of the others, eh?
Not gonna make it.
No sign of him so far. This way, maybe? Geode!
Oh, so much for Geode. Aw.
A shame. I had hoped to leave here with at least one more cell's worth of ether. But seeing how eager you are to interfere, I shall cut this foray short.
Calyx. What could you possibly stand to gain from these atrocities?
Ether sufficient to generate 5,000 endless. How would you acquire it?
How would I?
Until I have the key, the reflections are closed to me. Thus do I make do with the sources at hand.
Yeah.
7% of Alexandria's current population will yield the energy to convert 5,000 into endless. With 11%, operations could continue unabated for 800 years. Our bodies are fated to decay sooner or later. These ones refuse the gift of eternal life, so what difference does it make if I return them to Ether now?
Damn.
I will not waste time and resources on meaningless conflict. This unit cannot offer you worthwhile resistance.
Right about that.
Instead, I pose a question. Would you hand over the key if I promise to halt my harvest?
Hell no. You would only seek other victims. I will halt your harvest by defeating you. I'll lead to that inevitably anyways, right?
It was foolish of me to even ask. I return to my work then. There is much to do if I must take the key by force. This pile of dust, these ashes, and the soul cell he left behind, was that his twisted way of returning Geode to us? Damn you, Calyx. Damn you and your careless cruelty. He was our friend. Even so, some might say every death was justified if it meant 5,000 endless could continue their immortal lives. If a reflection stolen ether allowed for many more endless, why that too would be a noble sacrifice for the greater good. Who could think that? I mean, he does, obviously. Not I. Certainly not I. We know only too well there is naught noble in this sacrifice. We have to stop him. We have to find Calyx and put an end to this madness as soon as possible. Under no circumstances can we let the key fall into his possession, Zilly. Calls to us, we will thwart his plans here in Alexandria before he can terrorize innocents and reflections elsewhere. Level 100, the Endless Choice, complete. Quest complete. Level 100, my memories and yours. Though gripped by sadness, Fiend spurs herself to action. We should return to the back room. Shale and the others need to know what happened. Yes, I'll ask Wayakwe to meet us there as well. Why can I never pronounce that? I've forgotten how they said it already.
Bayakwe. Maybe they'll say it again. Here, you can have him. I mean, I guess, right?
Our dear Geode.
The soldiers. If only I'd been able to control them.
This isn't your fault, Gololja. The blame lies with Calix, and with him alone. It's all so senseless. Why force his plans upon us when we're already happy, living our lives? What does he even think life is? I'll never forgive Calix for doing this. Or myself for being powerless to stop him.
Wait, where are you going?
To clear my head. Don't worry, I won't do anything stupid.
Stay here and get some rest. I'll make sure Nostalgia stays out of trouble.
Thank you.
Things would have been far worse if you and Geode hadn't rushed in there. Many people are still alive because of you. And after adding what you discovered to the leads we've dug up, I'm hopeful we can determine where Calix is hiding. But not right now. We need time before we can move on. Just a little time.
Oh, Geode.
Another comrade gone. Some days it's almost more than I can bear. Geode was. He was an older brother than Nostalgia and me. Jail knew him longer, though, and is surely taking it the hardest. That's on top of what happened with Kakuya. Do you think you could check on her, see how she's doing? She's like to put on a brave face if it's me or my sister. Apologies, my mind was elsewhere. We need to press on with the hunt for Calix, but I can't seem to focus. I should be better than this, I know. Is there anything I can do? As you said, you need time to work through it. Anything I can do? Can't help yourself, can you? Still, I appreciate the concern. Kakuya used to say the best thing to do with grief was to let it all out. I think I'll take myself over to an earth and sky and say my goodbyes to Geode. Why don't you come along? I could use someone to blubber to if you've a shoulder to spare. Right then, let's get out of Everkeep for a bit. The fair trek on foot, so I've arranged for a couple of air-wheelers. Had their communication modules removed, so even Calyx shouldn't be able to seize control of them. Say the word and we'll set off. Ready? We'll be flying close to the pylon, so follow my lead. Not the air-wheeler? Yes. We have a racing segment? No. Footage. These air-wheelers are Jinald's babies. You won't find a smoother ride in all of Everkeep. I have one of these. For years now, I've been taking one out for a turn whenever I needed to lighten my mood. Sometimes Geode would come along too, and we'd end up racing. Does that surprise you? Our friendship always had a competitive edge. Cutie Puff Jr. Okay. We would often talk about how one day we might fly our wheelers outside the dome. You got no race, the edge of the universe. Almost there. Be sure the ground is clear before you touch down. Phew, that's helped clear my head a touch. You know, you might be the first person I've ridden with who wasn't an Oblivion recruit. As far as I remember, at least, the memories from my regulator days aren't exactly reliable. Come on, let's head inside. Hopefully the way will be clear of pests today. Wandering Thunder Spirit. I haven't played Samurai in a while, that's kind of why I picked it. Clear the way. Thanks. You can usually avoid such encounters, but sometimes they wander in and block the only path. Not that it slowed you down at all. I've never seen you fight up close before, and the surveillance feed clearly didn't do it justice. Hopefully that keeps the route clear for a while, shall we?
Whenever we lost a comrade, the three of us would come back here to reminisce. Me, Geode, and Kafkiwa. Will you raise a glass?
Geode's memory, a will and spirit. No, we'll drink.
Oh!
What are the two of you doing here?
I had a feeling you'd show up. Would you like to join us?
suppose I could spare a moment. They tell us Oblivion's founders disappeared some decades ago under mysterious circumstances, and it was Kafkiwa who revived our organization. You and Geode helped her with that, didn't you? Tell us more about it. You're keen to know too, right? What they were like back then, the mad things they got up to, that sort of thing.
Those were the days. It was actually right before the Reformation that I met Geode. I still wore a regulator then, and had recently lost someone close to me. And also quit a long stint as an adapter to work at a bar of all places. It paid me to sit with patrons and keep them company. So Geode came in one night. It wasn't long before we got into an argument. First-time customer, but tempers flared. And then one of us threw a punch.
You got into a fist fight? What were you even arguing about?
Damned if I know. We were deep in our cups. I think we were both just frustrated and angry at everything. By the end of it, we were both sprawled out in the street. Pair of drunken fools. Then this odd machine stopped to lecture us, scolding us for obstructing the foot traffic and not taking better care of ourselves.
I can't imagine you ever being in such a sorry state. The odd machine, that was Kafkiwa, I take it.
That it was. Once she was done upbraiding us for our unseemly behavior, she launched into a recruitment pitch. Kafkiwa explained that she wanted to protect the outside world from Zoralja's invasion, to keep him from bringing ruin to the place her beloved son lived. And if we were so intent on self-destruction, then perhaps we might consider risking our hides for a just cause. It was a lot to take in. I hadn't given much thought to what lay beyond the barrier, and learning that Kafkiwa herself was already dead was enough to make my head spin. But Geode and I were intrigued by her ideas, and wanted to see this future of hers come to pass.
Geode often spoke of it. He told me that meeting Kafkiwa was what first taught him the value of remembering people.
Like he was sharing a holy revelation.
Oh, but back then you hadn't yet taken on Oblivion's name, had you?
Is that so? I just assumed.
It hadn't been Kafkiwa's intention to carry on Oblivion's legacy, nor adopt the cause your parents championed. Not initially, at least. She wasn't even aware such an organized resistance existed. She did, however, suspect the presence of other dissidents, those who objected to resurrecting the memories of the dead in defiance of the natural order. In the hopes of identifying like-minded comrades, we began searching the core system for traces of unauthorized access, and that's how we found it. An anomalous sector in the back of the Neon Stein. According to Melancholy, the door to that mystery had remained firmly shut since she took over the business.
The back room.
The back room. We forced our way in, only to discover that the hideout had long been abandoned. Although the occupants were gone, the equipment they'd left behind contained records of a group calling itself Oblivion. After reading through their exploits and their vision for the future, we made the decision to carry on their work.
Thus were my parents' and Kafkiwa's hopes bound together.
And carried onward by Shale and Geode.
We could never have made it this far on our own, of course. Not without the strength of arms you and your friends provided.
Damn right.
Losing comrades is a hard thing, but being here, thinking back on the moments we shared, I can see their smiles, hear their laughter. I feel their presence, and I know they're still with us. But these memories of mine are for me alone. Reminders of why I chose to do this, and why I'll stay the course. Right. Time we got back to work. Thank you, everyone.
No, it's me who should be thanking you. Though the pain is still deep, I don't feel like I'm drowning in it anymore. Let's get out there and put a stop to Calyx. For you, for me, and for everyone who's ever believed in Oblivion.
Yeah. I appreciate you helping me through this. And not only the grief, you've helped me see that my comrades mean even more to me than I realized. It only fuels my determination. I'll be spending every waking moment working to bring Calyx to account for his crimes. Do my part, then you do yours. Oblivion needs you. Level 100, my memories and yours. Complete. Level 11, I think I have everything. Needs it. We'll do quick arm. It does not matter. Plenty of level 11. Level 100, a darkness in the heart. Shale steals her heart for the work ahead. It's time I went back to locating Calyx's lair. I have a new strategy in mind, but it remains to be seen if it will aid in narrowing down the possibilities. I'll ask Cryle for help. I want to re-examine the data, starting with that of her parents. After all, they were the first to break away from the preservation and establish an organized resistance with Oblivion. There must be something in there that can point us in the right direction. What are your plans? Speaking of, is that you? Apologies for calling suddenly. I've been making the rounds in the outskirts, and I cannot help but feel as though something is amiss. I'd ask you to join me. Your perspective would be most appreciated. It can wait until you finish attending to Shale, of course. Seems your plans have been decided for you. Go on. I have others to speak with before I return to the back room. Like, we're like in an instance area. Oh, is she just gonna be like near the aetheryte? Yeah. I'll just teleport. Fiend. Thank you for coming. As I mentioned, I would benefit from your worldly experience. Perhaps it is my imagination, but the townspeople appear to be acting oddly, that is, even considering the current state of affairs. As I am yet unfamiliar with the outskirts, I thought you might be better equipped to judge if their behavior is unusual or not. You speak with them and see what you think, though I hope to be proven wrong. I fear something is not right here. Where should we start? You're not wearing a regulator. Don't you know the end is coming? Well, it's your life to lose. Me, I got myself one of these neo-regulators and registered a little while ago. As soon as I did, a display appeared showing the number of registered users. Right now it's sitting at 4,168. The upper limit was 5,000, wasn't it? Seems the total shot up right after those machine malfunctions. It's only a matter of time before everyone's registered. Pity those who weren't chosen, but I'm going to be an endless. I'm going to evolve and live happily ever after. Joining the Matrix. Oh, please, tell me you brought more Neo-regulators. Officially, they've all been handed out already, but I've heard rumors there were a few left over. Surely the government still has some, or perhaps Queen Sphene? May not look it, but I was a hunter once. Back then, I hardly gave death a second thought, but now that I know the truth, it's all I can think about. Must be a way to hold on. There has to. All gone mad. Greetings. I remember when you visited with Queen Sphene. Come to check on our well-being, have you? I can say that things are rather stressful out here as well. Not knowing if or when our machinery might turn to murderous, the specter of death is ever present. People are terrified, and the clamor for neo-regulators has reached a fever pitch. I personally was fortunate to have claimed a new device early on and have long since completed the registration. Death has no hold over me now. Now I must begin my prayers. The darkness draws closer, grows deeper, and we must cast it out. Well, they're all cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. The end is nigh. So what do you think? Was I right to worry? A little bit. Tensions are running high. Their fear is palpable. Yes, that is exactly it. People are overwhelmed by uncertainty and fear, and with each new registration, that fear inside them grows more insistent. How long until it drives them into full-blown panic? Can you come to resolution? We have a problem. I'm already here with Lemity and Alphanod. Okay. Sounds like she wants us there in a hurry. We should go. Lamachi.
What's happened?
Sorry to drag you out here, but I thought it best you see for yourself.
Death is your constant companion. Though you toil with diligence, death may come ere your reward is bestowed. Though your grand works be poised for completion, death may come ere you wake the following morn.
Fun.
Though you enjoy a life of peace and good fortune, death needs but one instant to claim you. Your bodies are weak. Your heart, your brain, every fragile organ rolls the dice from moment to moment. Sheer chance deciding if they function or fail. Be you stoic or generous or righteous, no virtues tip the scales in that fatal reckoning. The choice is made without reason. The end is cloaked in terror. That is what it means to die.
The announcement began after we finished our meeting with Gossen. As for its source, well...
Alex.
There is no shame in being afraid. It is that very fear which will drive you to conquer death. Let us set a new course for mankind. Let us preserve our existence unto perpetuity. Hope for it, wish for it, pray for it. We will become endless. With evolution's brilliance, will we banish the ever-present darkness of mortality.
Change isn't easy. No one ever wants to take the first step. But this is the right path for us. What other way could there be? I'm gonna do it. I'm going to register.
Val Wuklemat! You couldn't have come at a better time. Please, you have to let us move to Tuliolal.
It's too dangerous to stay here. Who knows when the next century will turn on us?
Even if we wanted to become endless, there are no more neo-regulators to be had. Fleeing is our only option.
If the solution was as simple as leaving, then we'd all have left already. Did you not hear the announcement? For the living, death is a foregone conclusion. No matter where we go, or who we shelter with, we won't get another chance like this to overcome our fate.
Easy for you to say when you have that regulator.
Uh-oh.
The Landsguard are on their way as we speak, and arrangements have been made to see that you all will be safely evacuated. Tulichola will aid you in whatever way we can. So please, remain calm.
I want to help Alexandria. I want to save its people. But what can I do? I am not their queen.
Engine's about ready to explode. Helix has access to the core system, which means that if he chose to do so, he could deploy the soldiers beyond the barrier. Even if our people learn to live with death and decide to leave the dome behind, they will not be beyond his reach. Yet, if it serves to allay their fears even a little, I beg you, Wuklemat, please let them shelter in Tuliolal. We welcome any and all who want to come. We've already begun evacuations, and we'll be able to pick up the pace once the Landsguard arrives. In which case, we had best spread out and keep an eye on the crowds. The mood is tense, and we must prepare for possible violence. If you haven't determined where Calyx is hiding, though, we'll be ready to move at a moment's notice. Surely we'll find a clue of some kind soon. He can't elude us forever. Violence and fear. This is not the future she envisioned for her nation. Level 100, A Darkness in the Heart. Complete. Quest complete.